I have a second channel, Cube Comp MTDX.
Hey everybody, in this video we'll be testing out two action camera battery packs. These are single cell lithium ion batteries. This one came from a very generic, cheap sports action camera. Thing was a piece of garbage. And the battery itself does not weigh much. This one came with this DBPOWER D2 action camera. And it has a bit more weight to it. The real lightweight one is rated at 900 milliamp hours. The heavier one is rated to be 1050 milliamp hours. We're going to start by weighing these things. And let's see what their weights are. So the cheapie, or at least the questionable one, weighs just 8.7 grams. This one, however, weighs more than double that at 17.67 grams. So again, 8.67, 8.68. $17.66. So yeah, a little over double the weight. Alrighty, so what I have done here is I'm using my Opus charger, which can charge lithium ion cells, and also analyze them, show you how much they put in, how much is put into them, and all that good stuff. We're going to actually, what I've done here is I've taken some algo clip leads and some leads off of a capacitor, and I'm going to actually stick them into these terminals, and let's see what we can get here. Now you gotta be very careful doing this, by the way. You don't want this thing to short out. So that one's in there. Or it was. Okay, so I've gone ahead and switched over to some thicker leads. Use a paper clip this time. I just want something that's going to more securely latch into the battery pack like it's supposed to. And I've also put some electrical tape across the negative lead to try to prevent any accidental shorts. And I got it angled off to the side. And we should see a voltage reading on the charger once I pop this in here. Yep, 3.71. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is this battery pack, I'm going to discharge it down to its minimum voltage, which is usually about 3.1, 3.2 volts. And I'm only going to let it discharge at, let's say, 500 milliamps, because this is a small battery. And I'm pretty certain this will not take too long, given the fact that this battery is so light. So I'm going to let this discharge until the charger stops it, which I don't think will be very long. Let me check the voltage. So we're down to 3.59. It's put a little bit of a load on it. And also keep an eye on the pack, make sure it's not getting too hot. Hopefully 500 milliamps will not be asking too much out of this little big battery. So we'll let this run until it goes down to, it'll probably be about 3.2 volts, and then I'm going to run this thing through a charge cycle with 500 milliamps until it reaches 4.2 volts, and then discharge it again and see what we get out of it. We'll see what we put into it as well with the charge cycle. So we'll see how much we put into it, and then we'll see how much we get out of it. And then we'll repeat the steps for this battery pack here, which I have a feeling is going to do a lot better. And just in this little bit of talking, we've already dropped down to 3.55 volts. Yeah, I don't think this is going to take very long. So we'll let this run and see how it does. So yeah, I'm curious, is the battery pack that came with that generic sports camera that I got last year, is it also a piece of crap too? We'll see. Well guys, this is kind of funny. I barely even had a chance to get to the kitchen and back and grab some things. And this thing's already freaking discharged. Yeah, the charger pulled it down to 2.8 volts and stopped. And you can see it's slowly rising back up to about 3.2. That's how they usually do. 44 milliamp hours. And the battery is just ever so slightly warm. Alright, so now it's time to charge it back up. And we'll do the charge at 500 milliamps, or in other words, half an amp. Now, I will say that 500 milliamps is probably more, or I'd say it is more likely more than what the camera pulls off the battery, but I think 500 milliamps is respectable. That's assuming the capacity a little over 0.5 C. Charge and discharge. So now I'm curious to see how high this, how quick this voltage will jump back up. So we'll let this thing run. One thing I should mention is we are getting a little bit of voltage loss across these two wires that are connecting with the battery. So I have to give credit where it's due. But still, this thing, it didn't take long to discharge from 3.6 volts at all. Okay, we're just 5 minutes into this. Probably about 6 minutes now. Getting close to that probably. Still charging at half an amp. Already up to 3.8 volts. We've only put 42 milliamp hours into this. Pack is cool to the touch, barely warm. Yeah, I don't think this battery's going to hold much of anything. Okay, everybody, we're getting very close to being done with charging. Currently it has 4.14 volts on it. Only 200 milliamp hours so far. 25 minutes it took to charge it up. And our current is slowly dipping down because we're getting into constant voltage territory. That's how these chargers work. Yeah, 4.15 is where it's sitting at now. Yeah, I'm thinking this is probably a 200 milliamp hour battery. This is like those ultra-fire batteries you find on eBay, the real cheap knockoffs. And also the batteries that claim to be like 9,900 milliamp hours. Yeah, those. And they usually end up being like 900 milliamp hours. Yeah. This is what that is like. It's a knockoff. It's a cheap knockoff. But I'm curious to see what the other battery can do. So first we'll let this one finish charging, and I'm going to run through a discharge cycle, and after that charge it back up and then swap over to the other battery. Okay, so it's finished charging. Let's see what we have here. We're at 4.2 volts. 238 milliamp hours. That is pathetic. That is just so freaking pathetic. Thing's rated for 900 and it only has, it's only actually like 200. I mean, roughly. Yeah, 200, about 240 is what we put in it. So, now I'm going to change gears. We're going to discharge this thing. Now, out of curiosity, see if we can measure internal resistance, but it's probably not going to be accurate because of these wires. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because of the wires, it's not in the connections. That's not going to be accurate. Yeah, 375 milliohms. Yeah, that'd be a pretty bad sell, I think. And so now go back to discharge, and we'll discharge it at 500 milliamps. Okay, we are now discharging. Let's see how much voltage sag we get. Yeah, we're down to 4.12. Now, we'll be honest, I think we are getting a little bit of voltage loss across the across these wires, but this battery pack still ain't all that great. So this will be a really good test. See how much capacity we can pull out of it with half an amp load on it. So we'll come back in a moment and see how it does. I'm sure it won't take very long to discharge this thing. Okay, so we're 22 minutes in. Still drawing half an amp. We're down to 3.6 volts. Yeah, so far we pulled just 180 milliamp hours out of this battery. Okay guys, it just got done discharging, and it didn't take long at all. We're down to 2.8 volts and 214 milliamp hours. Yeah guys, this is a 200 milliamp hour battery, not a 900. Yep, it took just shy of a half an hour to discharge that thing. That's all it took. Yeah guys, that's pathetic. Okay, I just finished recharging this battery again, and 237 milliamp hours, that's all it did. So now we're going to test out this other battery pack that came with the DBPOWER action camera. It claims to be 1050 milliamp hours and weighs more than double what this pack here weighs. So let us see what it can do. So, just like before, stab my little connectors into place. Just like that. Okay, so this battery here, when it arrived with the camera, the voltage of it was so low that the protection circuit actually kicked in. So I had to momentarily place it into my the camera and use the camera's built-in USB charging. So you saw it was sitting at like 3.2 volts. So I'm going to let it charge at the default there, 500 milliamps. So, again, as I mentioned, this battery It was sitting below the minimum threshold that the protection circuit would allow. So again, popped into the camera, plugged the camera into a USB power source for a few minutes, and that pumped it up to about 3.2 volts. So to start this out, we're going to see what we can put into it. It'll be interesting to see what this one here can do. Okay, everybody, here's the other battery. It's almost done. It's been going for a little over 2.5 hours. Charger's only putting about 60 milliamps into it now. It's almost at 4.2 volts. And look here. It's put in a little over 1,000 milliamp hours, which is about the rated capacity of this battery, at least what's stamped on it, 1050 milliamp hours. See, I'm going to end it because it's getting real late and I like to go to bed. So I'll be continuing this tomorrow in the next part of this video. I'll be doing a discharge on it to see what we get out of it. So it's pretty safe to say that this one is going to do more of what's rated for, unlike the other piece of crap. That's rated for 900 milliamp hours, but only does 200. Yeah, what a joke. Okay, now we're going to discharge this battery and see what we can get out of it. So we'll change our mode over to discharge. And we're going to connect up the battery. Yeah, guys, this probably ain't the best way of doing this, but it's just temporary anyway. And we'll let this run at 500 milliamps. And see what we get out of it. Okay, everybody, we just finished discharging this battery, and this is how much we pulled out of it at 500 milliamps. Not exactly 1050, but this is not a bad number here. Definitely a lot better than the 200 that the other battery pack was doing. So now I'm going to charge this up and we'll go and end this video. So I think that concludes the test of these two little batteries. So when it comes to these little action cameras you can buy off of eBay or Amazon, there is a difference between the good cameras and the bad ones, and even comes down to the batteries they use. That other one was clearly a knockoff. Totally overrated. It was blatantly obvious by the weight of it compared to the weight of this one. This one here is doing about what it's rated for. The other one, not so much. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Well guys, that's it for this one. But it doesn't have to be. There's plenty more videos on the channel to check out. Also, if you liked the video, please click the like button. And if you absolutely hated it, there is the alternative button as well. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. And remember to click the bell so that we get notified of all updates. Also, if you're interested in things aside from computers and technology, check out my second channel. It's CubeCompMTDX. Over there you'll find videos about weather, elevators, bicycling, and pretty much whatever else I figure out to upload. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for your support.